Hello, welcome to NOLA Stamping. I'm Barb Baldwin, and today we're going to be making a beautiful card using the February 2024 stamp of the month, Say It With Flowers, and the Sweet Memories paper pack. This paper pack is just like very dreamy and feminine. I really love the colors, like they all go together really well. It's like a periwinkle, sage, mulberry, and I really like all of the different like elements to this paper pack. So I really like how they all go together, and being able to use those cameras, perfect. It's stuff just up my alley. So to make this cool card, we are going to first pick out the Sage cardstock. You can always get the cardstock paper pack that comes with the paper, because it'll match the colors of the paper pack. Or if you already have the Sage, you can always just use that. So we're going to cut a couple of pieces of the Sage cardstock. So we're going to cut 3 pieces that are 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then we're going to cut 1 piece that's going to be the background for the whole card. And that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So that'll be a regular A2 size note card. So then I'm just going to grab a piece of scrap white daisy cardstock, because you only need like a 2 by 3 inch piece for it. But you'll notice that I cut a bunch out for the flowers and the leaves and stems and stuff, like with the thin cuts. So you can see that I have used this paper pack a bunch already. I just, like I said, it just appeals to me. So I'm going to cut 2 pieces that are 2 inches by 3 inches. And so I end up using the periwinkle sort of toile, and then the mulberry like toile sort of pieces, just because I think that those work the best, especially since we're using that hero paper for the main background, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. So then while I'm working on everything, I keep everything in the same paper pack together in the same Ziploc bag, so that like I know that all the colors and stuff will match. I really love this little ledger paper, and so I'm going to take the zip strip off of the top of it, since that's just like a 1/2 inch off of the top. On one side it's got all the information for the paper pack, and then on the other side it's a design that usually goes along with. So I went over in the last video from this month how to do like mass production of cutting a ton of the different shapes out. I knew I was going to use a bunch of them, so like I did take the time to cut a bunch out. I really am digging this new system where you use washi tape to put together the various different thin cuts. It makes it a lot easier to just run through the machine really quickly. And then because, I know that I'm going to use them in one way or another, I just use the intense black ink to stamp them. And then like I have something ready to go, like when I want to put a stamped or card together really quickly, I'll have all the pieces, so then I could just go ahead and color it the way that I want to color it. So I'm going to show you how I did the 2 by 3 because I layered a couple of the stamps together. So I'm taking one of those stem stamps and just the one with the flower and putting it at the very top, and then I'm sort of positioning down the other stem and putting it down below, and then just sort of stamping it together so that it looks like it's all one plant together. So you'll see how I color those in just a second. So Close to My Heart came out with these like die sentiment strips that I'm really digging. And they come in a bunch of different colors. So I'm pulling out the white color, And I'm going to stamp the sentiment, which I've never used before. So I sort of stamp off to the side, and I'm just going to stamp on that strip, trying to decide which way I want it to be. So I'm going to stamp it on both sides, since when you put it on a card, you just like stick it down so you won't see the other side. So I wanted to show you a really cool technique. So I'm going to use the colors that are with the paper pack, sage, mulberry, and periwinkle, and I'm using that to watercolor the colors of the stamp. I know that these colors will match, so I don't have to worry about trying to mix and match some sort of colored pencil or marker or something. And like with the paper pack being so subtle, I really wanted the colors to all really match together. So what I'm doing is I'm pushing down on the stamp pad, and I'm just sort of like putting some ink over on the other side of the stamp pad. And then I'm taking a water brush and just picking up some of the ink on the top and using that on my paper. Some people use watercolor paper, but I'm just using the white daisy paper. I'm not getting anything too wet, and I'm just doing a quick quick and dirty sort of watercolor, making sure to go along the where the lines in the stamp are, because the lines will always show you where the shadows sort of should be. So then I'm going to take the mulberry and do the flowers, and I'm not going all the way out to the edge. I'm just doing from the center of the flower out, and then I'm going to take the periwinkle and fill out from the outside in. And it'll be kind of a cool effect, because it'll look, you know, periwinkle on the outside and then more like lavender on the inside. So I find this really relaxing. Like if you watch, if you're listening to like an audiobook or a show or something, it's just kind of fun to do. And I love the fact that it doesn't take too much effort, and it's pretty clean. Like there's not a lot to really clean up. I do have a little paper towel just to make sure that my inks don't transfer over. And then I just wipe down the inside of the ink pad and put everything back together. Okay, let's grab all of our pieces and parts, and we'll put everything together. So first you want to put the 4" by 5¼ on the main sage backdrop. And then I'm taking a nail file, and I put the card base like up on the edge of my block, and I'm just making sure that everything is like lined up against the edge of the block, and I'm just sort of going through and distressing everything with a nail file. I just picked the nail file up from like the dollar store or something like that, so it's not too fancy, so it's a nice way to just easily distress things. And then you don't have to worry about, you know, like getting dust all over. You can just clean it right off your mat. And so then I'm going to take all of those 2x3 pieces and mat them on those sage 2¼ by 3¼ pieces. And I'm just sort of like putting the blue or periwinkle up in the upper corner, and then the mulberry toile in the lower. And then I'm going to take a pair of scissors and fussy cut out one leaf and one of the larger petals. And I'm just going to use those and pop those up and out. And I haven't placed down that center flower yet, just because I want to make sure that everything's going to fit in the right area and stuff. So I just sort of add those on using a 3D foam dot. And I've decided, yep, that's definitely where I'm going to go. So I put down the center piece, and then I'm going to cut that flower in half. So then that way I can fit one side on one side and use the other on the other side. and it'll just give a little bit of dimension, you know, a subtle little touch to the card. I just thought it was kind of fun. You know, you may want to skip it, but I really love the effect that it gives. And then I'm going to put the zip strip across the bottom and trim it off on the sides. So I'm still kind of torn on the sentiment. I end up putting it on the right hand side and just sort of butting up against the edge. I really tried to make it fit on the other side, but I think it just feels a little bit more even because there's so many things over on the left side with that leaf and stuff that it fits better. And because the sentiment strips are just like a little bit thicker than regular cardstock, it sort of makes the whole sentiment sort of pop up a little bit. So I'm just going to attach that to the A2 card base, and there's really only embellishments left to do. I like putting little the clear sparkles on the center of the flowers, so then you don't really see the inside of the flower. And then I like doing my rule of 3. So I'm going to put 2 up in the upper right hand corner, and then 1 sparkle down in the lower left hand corner, making sort of like a little triangle. And that is it. I hope that this inspires you to make this card or make it your own. Just don't forget to stay crafty.